Give a single one.
And I'm saying,
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claim that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's a false.
No, what I claim. What I claim was.
That guy tried to take out Elon and ended up taking himself out, huh? Interesting how that happens. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zugradowski here of wearechange.org, and we have a huge amount of absolutely crazy and insane news to get into today, as of course urban decay is at its finest in places like Chicago that looks like there's utter pandemonium in. All of this as the U.S. national security state has found their new boogeyman that they are going after and are definitely going to be making an example of. Lots of crazy developments surrounding the latest release of the Pentagon Papers, the national security state, the geopolitical conflict in Ukraine, civil unrest, lots of insanity, and we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was done by @Poktas, who is a video meme maker that, of course, we will be linking down in the description below. His latest depiction of the interview that happened between the BBC and Elon Musk is absolutely incredible. I follow this person. I think you should too. They are pro-free speech, pro-comedy, pro-humor, and in this latest absolutely mind-boggling state of affairs, I think meme accounts like this are more important than ever, so don't forget to show your support to these independent creators that truly do incredible work that allows us to laugh when the leader of the free world is telling everyone to lick the world. I'm not kidding. He actually said that.
My heart. There's nothing our nations can't achieve if we do it together. I really mean it. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Yeah, totally normal behavior by the guy who literally has his finger on the button that could annihilate the world many times over. But who knows, maybe he was listening to some Sam Smith, who also performed another demonic performance over the weekend as well, that it's getting a lot of attention, which, let's be honest here, it's probably the sole reason why he's doing this, or he's possessed. Who knows, multinational corporate interests and celebrities will say anything to sell you a product, as perfectly represented by the latest Bud Light scandal, with Anheuser-Busch recently losing an estimated $6 billion in 6 days, issuing a non-apology apology. Yes, you heard that correctly. Anheuser-Busch released a statement saying, hey, we didn't really know what was going on here, but we're not going to say sorry for it. Confusing statement, a statement that said a lot by saying almost absolutely nothing, as even Donald Trump Jr. came out and publicly pushed to end the Anheuser-Busch protest. This, as it also just came out recently that the CEO of Budweiser is a former CIA operative, and also, let's not forget, Anheuser-Busch is a major partner of the World Economic Forum. And with even Don Jr. coming out and begging people to stop protesting them, boycotting and criticizing them, people still giving them a big earful on social media, as of course, finally, Bud Light has broken their social media silence and tweeted an old photo of the Bud Light can with a headline, "Thank God it's Friday," with many people responding, "No thank you," with the post getting millions of views and only 4,000 likes and over 20,000 comments of them getting dunked on by individuals proclaiming that they don't want any gender fluid woke CIA beer that calcifies their pineal glands, disrupts their endocrine system, and gives them man boobs, and that they're absolutely done with the company. And with that, sure comes a lot of memes that are absolutely hilarious, as I think a lot of people are realizing the true power that they have within themselves, especially with all of the purchasing power and decisions that Americans make every single day by voting with their dollar. And one very awesome, important way you could vote with your dollar while still doing your own form of lazy activism is by going to thebestpoliticalshirts.com, our own website where we have a huge plethora of absolutely wild, crazy shirts. Some of them too spicy to show here that will definitely garner some very interesting conversations at your local bank, at your local supermarket. Again, some of the shirts way too spicy to show here. To see the full catalog of products that we offer you, go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Lots of really funny ideas, lots of ways to express yourself, and also, more importantly, find like-minded individuals and let them know that they are not alone when it comes to the larger discontent that the majority of us are having in our mainline society. There's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of bullcrap. It only works if we allow it to work and if we believe it. One way of breaking the conditioning, breaking the matrix, is, of course, proudly standing behind matrix-breaking ideas, and an easy way to do that without any hassle, without any effort at all, is to simply just get a shirt, represent those ideas in public that I think are more crucial than ever to get out there to the general public. And do not forget, if you are a member of LukeUnfiltered.com, you get your own t-shirt store that is available to you at cost, saves you a lot of money, and gives you exclusive designs that no one else could get. Very rare t-shirts, only available for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. Lots of gems there. Lots of gems on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Check it out. Scroll through the shirts. Pick one up before, of course, the dollar collapses and you won't be able to. We also probably have a shirt about that too. Lots of different ideas. Check them all out just by clicking the link down in the description below, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. All of this, as I think it's fair to say that there is utter chaos and pandemonium and a lot of five-finger discounts going on right now in Chicago, Illinois, where it looks like a lot of young people there are just taking over the streets, with many police officers and authority figures failing to respond or not being able to. Now, in France, the protests there against the government are still going strong, and there's pandemonium for political reasons. Why is there utter chaos happening right now in Chicago? Well, no one could really explain it. Some people are saying, well, this is just kids being kids, and this is not kid-like behavior. Why are these kids causing such massive destruction, chaos, and suffering for honest, average, everyday citizens, destroying their cars? I mean, what's the goal here? What's the reason? What are they asking for? What do they want? Well, from everything I'm seeing right now, there's like no political reason here. It's just people going crazy just to go crazy. And with massive violence skyrocketing in places like Chicago, the U.S. National Security State and the Federal Bureau of Investigations are sending full entire SWAT units in order to get a Pentagon whistleblower that released documents proving that the U.S. government and corporate media have been lying to us about the larger proxy war that's happening right now between the United States and Russia. A war that actually involves American soldiers and American troops on the ground there that are very involved in this conflict that no one really knew about beforehand. This as the current president of the United States, who's talking about licking the world, just finally decided to address the Pentagon Papers, as of course his administration was telling you previously before that they didn't really exist, that they were fake, that they were manipulated, all according to unnamed security sources that the corporate media, of course, was regurgitating without even questioning, running their propaganda lies as if it was true, and with the government caught with lying about the war in Ukraine, lying about the documents that showed them lying about Ukraine. Why should we believe what the president of the United States is saying here? And the answer is you shouldn't. You shouldn't believe any government. As of course, Biden is telling everyone that he's not concerned with the information that has been released here, when a lot of the Americans paying attention and know what's going on here are concerned. The president of the United States said also that some of the top secret information is old in those documents, and that there is going to be a full-blown investigation as these documents were posted on a Discord group. All of this as the corporate media, including the New York Times, Washington Post, the Bellingcat Group, all worked together with federal agencies to go after a 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman who allegedly is responsible for this leak and was apprehended over the weekend. Now, leaks do happen from the government all the time, but I think it's fair to say that a lot of those leaks are usually done by the national security state and promoted, openly talked about, and not punished if they serve a particular interest of the national security state. And if they dare highlight an issue that the national security state does not like, it's pretty clear that they will punish people to the fullest extent of the law, and even beyond that. As of course, let's remember here, during the Donald Trump administration, there have been a huge amount of leakers that were celebrated in the corporate media. But now that there's a leaker exposing the Biden administration and its lies, the corporate media is literally working with the FBI to take them down. That right there shows you a clear conflict of interest, very clear unfair play by the media that, of course, is just the lapdog of the national security state. This, as we're finding out that multiple American special forces operators have mission critical functions inside of Ukraine, as it's also documented that 100 American personnel are on the ground right now in that country as it is engaged in a full frontal war with Russia. The corporate media, including the Washington Post, are even going as far as to allude that somehow discord and open communication between members of the U.S. military should be somehow limited here or addressed in a particular manner that prevents people from openly speaking to each other. And now we have to ask ourselves, what is going to be the fate of this young man who is being heavily criticized by the corporate media for doing what they just celebrated a few years ago to the Trump administration? This is, I think it's fair to say that he definitely embarrassed the U.S. national intelligence state, and when you do that, they're definitely going to be looking for some retribution. And nationally, with all the information that come out, we should be having a very serious discussion to what's really going on here, which I personally think is a little bit more of an important discussion than what kind of fluoride beverage you drink. But hey, that's just me here, as of course the United States has been absolutely lacking accountability and transparency when it comes to the U.S. government's involvement in this larger proxy war, which I absolutely believe is not in the best interest of not just the American people, but the people of the world. Wars do not help anyone, but of course those who supply the war, prolong the war, and do their best to, of course, escalate it further. Again, lots of really crazy things are happening in this theater of war, including even Russian tanks that are being found on the streets of America. And I think with this conflict ever so escalating from here, the American people should know what their tax dollars are funding and what we're being involved in. And I think that's the least thing that we could ask for. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos and also getting the shirts on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.